you noticed that you shift your identity all the time? So what I mean by this is, depending on where you are, so who you're talking to, a friend, you're in work, a boss, whether you're in an area where you feel uncomfortable, or you go to a place that you don't know anybody or you know everybody, who you are changes. And we do this automatically. We may not even be actually aware that we're changing who we are. We may feel uncomfortable, we may be a little bit quieter, or we may be louder, have more energy, and just feel at home. So these are just how we feel in those situations. It's the energy that we bring to that space. In day 5 of the Inner Bloom Challenge, where we learn, we share, and we earn from it, this was about changing, shifting your identity. And you may have been doing this automatically, not being aware of it. Well, we all do it, so we not may have been doing it, we all do it automatically. All of us change slightly depending on where we are. But to do this deliberately is what this lesson was about. How can we shift our identity deliberately? Because if we haven't been doing it without being aware of it, then that's the proof that we can change it to the identity we wish it to be. So this was really key for me. I was thinking, I can't be her. How am I going to change and think and act and come from the place of the person that I want to be? How am I going to do this? But when I listened to this lesson, it was sharing with me that I've already done this, and I've done it all so many times in so many situations. So if I can do it then when I'm feeling uncomfortable, or I'm feeling comfortable, depending on the situation, nervous or excited, you change who you are. Then if you want to be somebody that is, for example, confident, somebody that is calm, somebody that's at peace, somebody that has fun, or whatever it is, all those things that you want your identity to be, you need to lock into them and start with feeling into those beliefs, making sure that that identity is where you're leading from. So you kind of decide before you enter that room. You decide before you do whatever it is you're doing, before you go to the job, before you take the phone call, before you, whatever it is that you're looking to do, before you do anything, you decide to be her. So you lock into all those qualities, all those things that she is, so that then when you go into that room, or you do that speech, or you go for that walk, you are that person because you've locked into that identity. So then it's about observing the identity. So when new opportunities come, or new things, looking at it from her point of view, how would she, that new identity, respond to these new opportunities? And then leading from that, rather than letting the default ones take over, that fear, that doubt, that insecurity. It's that new opportunity, so I'm going to go there with confidence. There may be a fear, but that's just because I'm stretching my comfort zone. I know that fear is there to protect me, but I'm ready for this opportunity. And also to tune into her frequency. So just noticing how she acts, noticing the energy that she brings to a room, and going in with, I'm going to bring that energy. Do I want to be quiet? Do I want to be loud? How do I want to be? So there's no right or wrong. It's just deciding for you how that person, how that identity is when you're looking at it from being her. And then it's a matter of staying in that identity. And that for me is the hardest part, because I fluctuate. But knowing this, knowing that I can change, knowing that I do change my identity in different rooms, just brings that awareness. And once we're aware of what we're doing, we can then look to change it and then decide. So if we know that we normally feel a little bit nervous or a little bit quieter in certain situations, we can decide before we go into those situations to be that person. And it may be that that first time that you do it, you're not who she is, but you're locking into that frequency. And the more that you do it, the more you'll be able to be that identity that you want to be in those rooms. And it also talked about time and how the person I want to be is running parallel to me. So this audio is definitely something that you need to listen to. I'm not going to be able to capture it, this new information, in this video for you. So these are the key points that I took away from this. But to listen to this audio, and I need to listen to it again, I've already listened to it twice, there's just so much information there, some new concepts for me to take hold of to help me really lock into this identity. And it said that the version of you that has it all isn't somewhere in the future waiting for time to deliver her. It's a state of being available in this moment, the moment you decide and observe yourself as her. So the moment you decide to be her, the moment you see yourself as her, is you deciding to be her, not wait until in that time when you catch up with her. You decide right now to be her, and then you can become her. So it's looking at whose eyes are you seeing her through? What is the story that you believe about yourself? So those stories that we tell ourselves, we need to change that story so that we lock into that new identity. And then we come in those situations that we know potentially we're not being that identity we want to be, to lock into it before we go into those situations. And then naturally each day we're locking into that new identity, and that will become the default identity. So this lesson, there's a lot for me to go back to and relearn and re-listen to, but the key thing for me was to try and understand that I shift identities all the time. I change in who I am. So if I can do that, I can become her. And that was a great message for me, something I needed to see, that evidence that I needed to know that I can become her, because I'm already being these other identities, not ones I necessarily want to be. So with time and locking into it and really deciding who I want to be, locking into that frequency, tuning into it, the more and more I do it, the more that will become me. So again, if you want to listen to this audio, there's a link in my description. You can join the 30-day challenge where we learn, we share, and we earn. This challenge is available always for you. It's a self-paced journey. In addition to this challenge, there is also those coaches and healers with the courses and workshops that they have put together, all available in Inner Bloom. Again, the link is in my description. Thanks so much for listening, and I look forward to sharing day 6 with you soon.